Okay, so I've refrained from making Xenoblade videos for a while because I personally don't think that I'm good enough to make content that is worthy of, being related to Xenoblade because it's my favorite game series, my favorite RPG. But I'm just gonna say it now. We're in the golden years of Xenoblade. This is like the peak right now. This is the endless now. This is what Zed was looking for the whole time. He was looking in the wrong place. He thought endless child clone soldiers and murder were the endless now. No, it's the series being at its absolute fucking peak. Xenoblade is a series that I've been into for like 10 years, since 2012 on the Wii. When it first came out, I got it like the week it came out, thanks to my brother, and I've been a fan ever since. But before that, the Xenoblade series came out. The first Xenoblade game came out in 2010 in Japan for the Wii. But I knew about it like a little bit before that, because I was following the game since like I think January 2010 or December 2009, when like IGN or something had like a YouTube video upload of like the first major trailer for Xenoblade, and it shows like the Bionis and the Makanis fighting each other, and it's like a mix of like the opening cutscene of the game, where you play as like Dunban and Sword Valley, mixed with the Bionis and Makanis fighting, and it shows. I think it's basically like the first few cutscenes where it shows like Dunban fighting, some gameplay where like they show some of the RPG combat, and then like it cuts to that part at the end of the beginning of Xenoblade where Dunban rushes into the Mechon army in Sword Valley, and then it pulls back the camera and swooshes around, and then you see the different environments like on the Bionis. Like you see Magna Forest, you see RFC, you see all these other locations that you'll go to later in the game. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, wow, this looks amazing. And then like, the game came out in Japan, so I didn't get to hear much about it after that. But then when it started coming out in Europe, it was a big deal, because it came out in English, and had full English voice acting and everything from Nintendo Europe. And then like Nintendo Domination made videos showcasing the game and showing like RFC specifically. I remember he would show the game, and it's beautiful, amazing environments. Like I every time I saw the game, I didn't believe that was a Wii game. Like I don't know how the Wii was able to do that. So then Xenoblade comes out in Europe, and everyone in Europe is happy, but I'm not happy. You know why? Because the game, it wasn't announced to come to North America. Because Nintendo America was being a bunch of shitheads, and they didn't want to release the game over here. And then like, it's like, hey Nintendo, the game is in English, voice acting is in English. Grab the game, slap it onto an NTSC disc, release it on the Wii in America, and bam, there you go, I'll buy it day one. But they're like, we don't really want to do RPGs, we'll release other shit right now. And I'm like, what the hell do you have coming out? Like, what, Skyward Sword? What, Wii Music or some shit? Like, what I don't remember what was coming out. And then, like, the Wii U came out in, like, near the end of 2012, like, in the later half of 2012. And it's like, this is prior, but then, like, in a Facebook post of all fucking things, at the end of the year, they're like, alright, fine, Xenoblade is coming to America. And then, everyone's happy, but I feel like the only reason it happened was because of Operation Rainfall and the European sales being higher than they expected. And Operation Rainfall was a fan campaign targeted towards Nintendo of America, I think specifically, to try and get Pandora's Tower, Last Story, and Xenoblade localized and released in America. Because at the time it was only like the first Xenoblade game in 2011. But then in 2012, I think, it followed with like Pandora's Tower and Last Story in Europe. And the same treatment, like European dub, European translation.
But I'll tell you something about handsome chaps, Zale. Right, being handsome's not enough for them. They're all shallow chaps, lying chaps, cheating chaps. And if they're handsome on top, I'm supposed to fall for them. And I know one handsome chap who's all three. Oh look, there he is.
Hey, at least you admit I'm handsome.
See what a horrible flirt he is? Don't you dare turn into that, Zale.
Don't turn into a raging alcoholic like her either.
I'm glad I have so many good role models.
I haven't turned into a monster since that time. Thank you, Aaron. Your hair's getting quite long, Aaron. Would you like another haircut? Hey, don't make that face. I only messed up last time because of my brothers. It won't happen again, I promise. The key to this dish is to bring all the ingredients to the boil together. Which does take a while, I'm afraid.
Nintendo Europe, so they did all the heavy lifting for Nintendo of America. They did all the work for them. They just had to, Nintendo America literally just had to slap it on a disc, and that would have been the most low effort thing that they ever needed to do. And they would have made money. They chose not to, for some reason. They were very stingy about it. They didn't want to do it. And then, did they make that Facebook post? Then they announced that it was coming out in April, in 2012, and then it comes out. The trailer has like a lot of spoilers. If you look back at that trailer, there's a lot of spoilers. Like they show a lot of spoilers. They even show like Lady Maynef at one point, and it's like, dude, like what the hell is going on? They show a lot of spoiler stuff in there. It's a very nostalgic trailer for me because that was like the first American trailer they showed, and I was like, oh wow, this game is awesome. I'm like, they finally made a trailer for Xenoblade. And then it came out, and it's like, oh, like I played the game and it blew my mind away. It's like I've never played a game that that made me think it was the best game ever. Like before that, the best game ever was probably like Super Mario Sunshine, or Mario Galaxy, or Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden probably the best game ever. I don't know. And Xenoblade was like my real introduction to RPGs because I've always played like Mario and Luigi, and I played Digimon World DS, and I played like Pokemon, obviously, Pokemon, Digimon, Mario and Luigi, Paper Mario. Like I didn't really play actual RPGs at that time because I was still a kid, so I didn't really care about RPGs. But I played Xenoblade regardless of what fucking genre it was because I just wanted to play the game. And then I get the game and I'm like, wow, this game is amazing. I want to play more RPGs. And then after I play Xenoblade, I'm like, okay, well, I want to play more RPGs. And then like in the following year, like Shin Megami Tensei 4 comes out for the 3DS, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I play more RPGs. So I play that, and then I play like Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor. That was a great game on the 3DS. And then it just became like this big cycle of playing other RPGs, or playing a good amount of them, because I'm not like the biggest RPG guy, but I still like RPGs. So, I played Shin Megami Tensei, I played all the Xenoblade games, I've played Chrono Trigger, I played Xenogears, I've played like a lot of things, like Pokemon and Digimon games, and played a lot of RPGs, but not as many as other people. And I haven't even played like Final Fantasy. Isn't that funny? I played Dragon Quest. I like Dragon Quest. But yeah, Xenoblade was kind of like that breaking point for me for RPGs, and I'll always treasure how I feel about that game. That game I still think is the most important game for me, and my favorite game of all time, because the right game at the right time, you feel certain, like the way people feel about Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation, it's kind of like their gateway RPG, is probably how I feel about Xenoblade, where I see it as like the most important thing that's ever been introduced to me, and it's like, oh, this game's a masterpiece, and I love it. And it's like my first real RPG, I guess, in a way. But not even because of that, it's just because the game was so good. And I never experienced storytelling like that in a video game, and I was like, wow, this game blew my mind. And then Shin Megami Tensei 4 blew my mind, and I'm like, well, all these games are good. Like, man, I should play more RPGs, they're really good. So that's what happened. So then Xenoblade comes out. It's not really like a big deal for most people. It kind of just came and went. And then like rumors for Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U come around, and like the leaks happen, and they're like, oh, Shulk is in Smash? And I'm like, wait, how the hell is Shulk in Smash? I'm like, Shulk is like a one-off RPG character from one game. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody else bought it. Everyone who supported the Operation Rainfall campaign said that they were going to buy the game. And then they didn't. And then I remember I checked YouTube, and I'm like, where are all the videos hyping up Xenoblade and trying to like raise awareness? Nobody fucking did. And it didn't help that the game was GameStop exclusive, so if you didn't have a GameStop in your area, you were fucking screwed. So, not a lot of people played it, and when I was in high school, I tried to convince like so many fucking people to play it. I told like everyone that I was friends with, or that I knew at lunchtime and everything. I'm like, guys, you gotta buy Xenoblade, you gotta buy this game, buy the game, buy it. And they're like, oh, well, you know, I don't really want to play, you know, I don't like RPGs. And it's like, I'm trying to convince you to play this game. This is why certain games get left in the dust, because other people don't want to fucking play them. I hate when that happens. So, anyway, then like the Smash rumors come up, and I'm like, there's no way, Shulk is like a one-off. And then the leaked gameplay comes out, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, wait, that looks like a brawl mod. I'm like, you sure it's not Project M? And then like I see him do that spin move with his down smash, and it looked kind of like his stream edge, and I'm like, whoa, oh fuck, this is real. I'm like, oh shit, Shulk is actually in Smash. And I'm like, wait, no, I'm gonna wait until the trailer comes out. Then the trailer dropped, and I'm like, holy shit, yo, Shulk is in Smash! Oh my god, they put my favorite character in the game, and everyone's like, who's Shulk? I'm like, Shulk is the guy from, you know, Xenoblade on the Wii? And they're like, oh, yeah, never heard of him. I'm like, well, how? I'm like, the game's not that old. It was like 2 years after, like, the American release. It's like, how do you guys not know about it? They're like, yeah, we don't give a shit about Xenoblade. We don't give a shit about Shulk. I'm like, whoa, come on. I'm like, alright, fine. I'm alone. And then Shulk gets out of the Smash. And then everyone makes, like, their shitty memes. Like, I'm really stealing it. I'm really grilling it. It's like, okay, so now everyone's making fun of Shulk for being the new guy, right? Okay. And then 2015 rolls around, and then Xenoblade Cross or Xenoblade X comes out. And that game had like a big problem where like the localization was shitty. 8-4 are a bunch of shitheads, and I don't trust them for any other localization, even though they did Tales of Berseria, and that game's translation was alright. I think they were like more on a leash for that one though. I don't know. Like, I still remember Can I Has Cheeseburger being a line in Xenoblade Cross at some point. I remember an NPC saying that, and I'm hoping that's not a fucking Mandela effect. But, yeah, Xenoblade X comes out, the game's really good, the story's shit, because there's like no story. Because they sacrificed all the story to add multiplayer and like a created character, so you could do whatever you want, but that didn't really work. Like those aspects worked, but for the sake of but they had to sacrifice the story, and it's like, ugh, the story suffered because of it. Because there's good ideas in Xenoblade X, but it's just like the story is so trash. Like not really much happens, and there's no reason to care about the characters. Because they don't go through like character arcs, there's no like deep backstories or anything that tie into the plot. Like nope, none of that bullshit. Like get up. All of that doesn't matter. So Xenoblade X comes out, it's good. Some people didn't buy it because of the localization changes. Like no boob slider? What the fuck happened to the boob slider? It's gone. It doesn't exist. Everyone has the same size tits. According to Turn America, everyone has the same size tits. It doesn't matter if you have big tits or small tits. They don't exist. They're just medium sized. But you can make people tall and short, but you can't make people of like a certain boob size? Okay. At least put like a butt slider or something to replace it. But they didn't. And then like, in the beginning of 2017, when Nintendo had their Nintendo Switch presentation, they revealed Shin Megami Tensei 5, or just Shin Megami Tensei game in general, and then they revealed Mario Odyssey, and I'm like, oh shit, Shin Megami Tensei Mario Odyssey in the same presentation? That's awesome. And then Xenoblade 2, and that was phenomenal. Like, I was crying when I saw that announcement, because I never thought Xenoblade would get a true sequel. Even though Takahashi was trying to be sneaky, and he was like, oh, you know, Xenoblade 2 is not a sequel, like, it's just a new entry, but, you know, come on, what do you mean it has, like, the same enemies? Oh, come on, other RPGs do that all the time. Don't you ever look at Dragon Quest? There's a slime in every fucking game. Or in Final Fantasy, yeah, they always got Moogles and Chocobo, like, whatever, it's just connected stuff, okay? They're not, like, really a sequel. I'm like, okay. And then, you know, spoiler alert, we find out that there is a fucking sequel. It is a sequel. Because it's happening at the same time as Xenoblade 1, when Shulk is going to fucking kill Zanza. Rex is trying to kick Malos' ass. They're fighting they're fighting at the same time. And Klaus, his other half, the non-god version, like, you know, the regular man that pressed the fucking button. Why did you press the button, Klaus? He's just a man. It's just an old man, and he's sitting in the space station. And Rex meets him, he's like, hey, what's up, God? He's like, I'm not God, I'm just Klaus. I'm just a dude. Yeah, back to Xenoblade 2. Xenoblade 2 is revealed. A lot of people pay attention to it because, you know, the Switch, and the Switch was highly anticipated. Then the Switch comes out, you know, gotta wait until like December to play Xenoblade 2. Then Xenoblade 2 dropped. and oh my god, Xenoblade 2 was amazing. Except for like 3 things that are a problem. Like Xenoblade 3 is the gacha shit is lame. I don't like it. I never liked it. Like having to grind. I beat the game in a week, like when it first came out, and then for like 10 days I had to grind endlessly for core crystals just so I can fucking get Cosmos, because she was like the only rare blade that you get from a random chance that I was missing. Everything else was like quest related. God, that was so annoying. Everything was like a quest blade or something else, and it's like, ugh. But I got Cosmos day 1, like, not day 1, but like the first month, first few weeks. I felt really proud about that. So many days worth of grinding. I lost sleep for all of that. So then Xenoblade 3 comes out, Xenoblade 2 comes out, it's a big deal. And this is how I know Xenoblade 2 is a big deal, because the Japanese audience paid attention to it. Because all of a sudden, after like a year, like I'm gonna say like 2018, 2019, maybe a year or 2, all of a sudden, I start going on my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. Like, I start going on my Twitter. There's like millions of Xenoblade 2 fan art everywhere. Pyra is everywhere, Mythra is everywhere, Nia starts showing up. Morag sometimes gets some artwork, but I don't really care. And then, like, they're literally everywhere. Like, I can just check my Twitter right now, scroll, and I'll see something Xenoblade related. And that's when it hit me that Xenoblade has become bigger. Like, because now, the casual audience has, like, adopted Xenoblade, and I don't mean, like, the shitty casual audience where, like, they play, like, Fortnite or whatever, or every week, yearly release or whatever, fuck. It's like, no, people who aren't as like super hardcore into the series like me, and they play like every fucking entry, they have like over like 200 hours in every game. No, they've played it, or they know about it, they make art of it, and they make like funny memes and everything, and it's like, look, we're getting Xenoblade memes and Xenoblade fan art on a daily basis, 24/7. I never would have seen that happen the first time around. When Xenoblade 1 came out, I didn't see anything. I was the only person talking about that fucking game. And then, like, obviously YouTube comments are like, oh yeah, yo, I love the music, I love the characters, blah blah blah, but it's like, where were all these people back in like 2012, like when, in 2010, like when that shit when the series needed help, when it was new? That's right, they didn't exist. It's like Xenoblade 1 didn't exist yet. Yeah, like Pyra and Mythra become like immortal waifus. They will never die. Especially because they got added into Smash as playable characters. So they have solidified themselves as like lifelong waifu characters that won't die. Like Slayers, that shit, you know, that's life, that's timeless. Like Slayers will always have fans, even if it gets old. Like Sailor Moon will always have fans. You know, some of these things always have fans. Like Kill la Kill came out years ago. I don't even care about Kill la Kill. Kill la Kill came out years ago, and people still clamor for Kill la Kill. And Penny and Stalking, that came out years ago. It's finally getting a sequel, but you know, like that still has fans. So it had fans long enough to justify making a sequel. So good for them. Good for Panty and Stalking. That's a good series. But yeah, Xenoblade 2. It's been 5 years, almost 5 years, the full 5 years, and it's still going strong. Like, they survived like the seasonal cycle where, you know, they only like hot for like a month or a few months or a year, and then people move on. No, Pyra and Mythra are always in people's heads. They always have people on Twitter complaining that the Xenoblade 2 character designs are shit, or they're too horny, or they're bad. Like, the fact that it gets into people's heads, and you even get like, was it like more critical, making a comment about like someone dressing like a Xenoblade character?
What the fuck do you mean there's more to life than video games? This guy didn't come in here wearing like a Super Mario hat and also like assless chaps designed straight out of Xenoblade or anything.
Like the fact that some people are just using Xenoblade as examples when they're not even like into the game. That's how I know it's gotten bigger, because people are literally just saying that, and then like people know what they mean. Like, oh yeah, he's dressed like a Xenoblade character. He has like it's a silly outfit. I'm like, wow. I'm like, maybe we're talking about Rex, but yeah, like, wow. Xenoblade's way bigger than it's ever been. And then, you know, the Torna DLC came out the year after, and then, like, that was amazing too. I really hated the fucking community thing though. Thank you for that. Forcing me, like, halfway through the game to do mandatory side quests so I can continue the story. Thanks for that. That was the worst part, in my opinion. And if you do the New Game Plus, you have to do it again. side quests are always fun to do in Xenoblade, and you know, distracting yourself and going off on the beaten path, and you know, just filling up the map so you can see every nook and cranny. And it's like, okay, that's cool. I like to distract myself, but like, I don't like that the game is forcing me to distract myself. Then at that point, it's not distracting; it's just busy work. But yes, Xenoblade 2 had a lot of busy work. Xenoblade 2 had the shitty gacha mechanic. It had field skills, which were tied into the gacha mechanic, because certain blades you could get, certain common blades had abilities that would help you on the field. Like if Pyra had like level 1 fire or whatever to burn like that tree, but you need level 3, oh sorry, you gotta go get some fucking common fire blades that also have the ability. And it's like, why would you tie it into that? Why would you tie game progress to like this gacha bullshit? I hated it. I really didn't like it. Hopefully like they don't bring that back. And then, yeah, and then Xenoblade 2, this DLC comes out, that was great. They added Shulk. Shulk and Rex finally get to meet each other, and I fanboyed super hard. That was the best moment at E3, and they showed that DLC. And then, like, my dream remake, like, that was a pipe dream in my head. I was like, oh, you know, 10th anniversary, maybe they'll remake the original game. Nah, there's no way. I kept telling my friend, I'm like, there's no way, never. That's too good. Nintendo doesn't want my... I fall off my fucking chair. I slide off the chair. I'm on my knees. I'm crying tears of joy. My face is all red. I'm covering my eyes like with my hands. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. As soon as I saw that first few frames of the trailer where it shows Magna Forest with the giant waterfall in the, you know, the secret landmark. As soon as I see the waterfall, it took me like a quick second to realize what I was looking at, and then as soon as I hear the piano from the game's intro title screen from the original game, I lost my shit. I was crying, I was yelling, I was like, oh my god, I really wish I had my reaction recorded. This is before I started recording Nintendo Directs. That's when I should have done it. I should have done it at that Direct. But, like, oh my god, holy shit. I didn't start really doing it until, like, later, but that's a missed opportunity, massive missed opportunity for me. Like, I should have done that. But anyway, damn, like, Xenoblade Definitive Edition, and then it comes out, it's beautiful, all the new characters, the character updates look great. Melia got a major fucking facelift. She used to look ugly. Dumbman looks kind of a little bit off. I kind of like how he looked before, but he's okay. Ryan's hair is different a little bit. Charlotte looks pretty faithful to how she looked in the original, and then Ricky just looks like Ricky. It's like Ricky's the same.
Here upon Ricky, bestest!
And then Shulk looks pretty different. Like his face and his hair and everything look different from the original game. I still prefer how he looked in the original though. Not like graphics wise, but like kind of like the art style I prefer. But yeah, the Definitive Edition comes out, it adds the Bionis shoulder that was cut from the original game. They fucking added it back, you know, because that's the one where that got cut from the game, and instead of going there and then going to RFC, you just go on that stupid water ball in the frontier village in Nopon Town, and then they just walk into this big water ball that doesn't really get explained, and they just go up and then bam, they're in RFC. Because I think the way they get there is because like RFC doesn't have like a bottom, I think. So they go like, so the water like kind of leaks out from the ocean, and it sort of has like the reason like Magna Forest is so moist and wet, and the reason why Ryan sweats like a frog's armpit is because like the water ether and everything is like above the forest, so like it's always like wet or humid or something. So I guess that kind of explains the water ball, but I still think it was just some kind of half-assed way to just explain the transition from one area to another without having to explain the fact that the area got cut for time. Anyway, yeah, then they added all of that. They had new costumes, they re-recorded the music. Most of it is good. Some of it I still prefer the original, but it's not like it's bad, it's just the originals are better in some aspects. Like, I think like the vision reacts, like when you enter into a battle and then you have a vision and then the rest of the battle music keeps playing. Yeah, like the original one, I like it a bit more. Some other ones I like more, but for the most part, Xenoblade Definitive Edition is amazing and you should go buy it. You should buy all the games. And then Oh, and I forgot to add, they had awesome challenge battles, and they added Future Connected. And Future Connected is an epilogue to the original game that lets you finally go to the Biona's shoulder, because they recontextualize it for like the epilogue. So it's a different part of the story now, but it's so fucking cool. They actually brought it back, and then Shulk fights like a giant fucking dinosaur. And it has the unfinished battle music playing.
Let's focus our efforts.
Let me hear you.
Perspectives, do it now!
We measure! Find treasure! Perspectives to the eye! Evelyn did enough for one day.
And that's like the second time they play that music in the game. The entire game's like 100 hours. Only played in the main game the first time when Dungban joins you. That's it. Never hear it again.
Nice. Now, let him have it, beast. Dumba! How did you... Sorry to have kept you.
But anyway, then they do that. They released Definitive Edition, Xenoblade 2, Pyra, Mythra, and Smash. That was a big deal for me. I reacted to it and I was like, oh my god, they actually added Pyra, but I wanted Rex. Where's Rex?
Oh, they did it! Wait, what? Hey, wait! That's not Rex!
Hey, but you predicted it. Who'd you?
Wait, but that's not Rex!
Wait. Who'd you have the Pyra mod on?
But that's
Answer
not.
the question.
I know, but that's not Rex.
Answer the question. Who'd you have the Pyra mod on?
That's not Rex. Oh my god, we finally got a Xenoblade 2 character. Wait, but can you play as Mythra?
Wait, what is that?
Oh yeah, you can. That's the foresight thing that she does.
What?
Wait, but can you play as Numa? If you can transform into Numa, that'd be amazing. Oh my god, yes!
Poor Link.
Yes, I finally get what I want! See, I told you, they changed her costume in the spirit art. I told you it meant it was gonna be a character. You all called me crazy!
Blah blah blah. Okay. And now we cut to 2022. Was it 2022 or 2021 they revealed it? It was this year, I think. I don't remember. No, it was this year. It was the beginning of the year. They announced Xenoblade 3. And then Xenoblade 3 gets announced. I'm like, oh my god, wait, what the fuck? Is this third game?
Wait, what the fuck am I looking at? Wait, are those Titans in the background? Wait, is that sword? Is that the Mechon sword? The Mechonis sword? Come on, show me the number. Finally! Yes, it's Xenoblade 3!
What? Xenoblade 3 gets announced, and then like it comes out, and then Xenoblade 3 is easily the most popular entry in the series right now in terms of like fan interaction, because fan art is all over the place, funny memes are all over the place. Japanese artists make all kinds of safe for work and not safe for work art that, you know, that you probably shouldn't be looking at, and I can't put in the video, but you know, they have those, and that's amazing. Like the retention and fan interaction with Xenoblade 3 is higher than I think even Xenoblade 2 at launch. Like Xenoblade 2 had to work to get to that point. Xenoblade 3 kind of being propped up since Xenoblade 2 was so successful in Definitive Edition, helping expand the fan base and introduce people to the original game. Like Xenoblade 3 was automatically going to be successful because of the prior two games. That's kind of how this shit works. But like, it's amazing because it was so fast and it happened like immediately, like as soon as the game came out. And then they announced Mio gets a figurine from Good Smile and a statue. And she gets a statue and an action figure. And I'm like, wait. Mio gets an action figure and the game hadn't even come out yet. And now like she gets a waifu figure too, just like Pyra, Mythra, and Cosmos and Nia. The Nia one is next year, but it's like, whoa, but the game is new. Like the Xenoblade 2, you have to wait like a year or two for like hire Mythra to get merchandise. Like, is this like a regular thing now? Like, where's my Xenoblade 3's Pro Controller? No, seriously, where's my Pro Controller? I got fucking Xenoblade 2 Pro Controller right there, sitting next to me right there, but like, I don't get a Xenoblade 3 controller. You give Splatoon a controller, but not Xenoblade. You give Splatoon a special edition Switch, but not Xenoblade. I would've bought a second Switch. It's so annoying. That's so annoying. But Xenoblade 3 is like the peak right now. This is the endless now, the golden age. Xenoblade was a little like underdog kind of series where Takahashi took a risk and made like this big epic RPG. Came out around the same time as like Final Fantasy 13 though. So obviously everyone was playing that fucking game. No one was playing Xenoblade in Japan. Like I think it had like 150,000 sales. But then in America it sold like 200 something thousand. And I'm like, how did Nintendo look at these numbers and not think, wow, this little niche one-off RPG is actually good or viable? They didn't think. And then Xenoblade 2 sold 1 million copies. The first game to do it in the series. And then Xenoblade Definitive Edition sold 1 million copies thanks to the Switch. And I'm just like so grateful. Because I'm like, oh my god, Xenoblade finally sold 1 million copies. Xenoblade is finally like building itself up. Even though the games are already like top tier, but money-wise, you know, it takes time. I don't know what Takahashi did, but he's a genius. And then Xenoblade 3 comes out, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna reach 1 million sales at some point. If all 3 of the main entries reach 1 million sales, I'll be happy. So now the new DLC is coming out. Like everyone already finished the game, I guess. And then all the new fan art and everything, and then like now we can meme about what happens in the story instead of having to take it super seriously. So that's my favorite part. Like, you still cry and you get emotional when you rewatch the cutscenes and you look at the drama and everything in the story. But now we can just meme about it, like how N is like an edgelord incel, and he's just angry because his woman got stolen and he's simping super hard for M, but it didn't work out. Or like how Mio punches the Mobius in the face.
Remain a dream so long as I live. Who I am, I don't give a fuck who you are.
Or how Senna is just super strong, so she just lifts everything. And how Lance is kind of stupid. And how Tyon and Uni have like this really strong relationship where he's like the little nerdy boy and she's like the really loud, annoying tomboy, and she's always in his face and everything. Like, it's great. I love seeing all this shit. And everyone's drawing FL because FL didn't get enough screen time in the fucking game. She got killed off a little too early. Spoiler alert, she got killed off in like chapter 4, I think. That was so sad. She deserved to be like the main part. She should have been Ouroboros. I would have been hyped if she was Ouroboros. But it's okay. And then like Vandam fucking dies in the first chapter. He just died right away. Wow. But yeah, as a Xenoblade fan, I'm so happy. And then Nia and Melia come back, spoiler alert, so oops. Yeah. And then they're playable as like, what kind of playable technically? They're in your party as like support characters with the hero aspect, the hero thing. Oh god, that's so good. And you get their classes and everything, like, oh, it's so fun, so good. And now the new DLC, Nopon Robot Girl is coming. She's basically Poppy 2. That's coming out, and then the challenge battles is what I'm looking forward to the most, and that comes out soon. That comes out in like a few weeks, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I gotta make sure I max out all the classes, because I got every class to rank 20. Like, I unlocked all the heroes and got them to rank 20, but I didn't max out the class for the Ouroboros, like the playable characters. So I still need to do that. I took too long of a break from the game, honestly. I should go back and do it. It's just I didn't feel like playing until more DLC came out. But Xenoblade is in its golden age. Xenoblade's in its golden age, the golden years for Xenoblade, and let us hope that it prospers and keeps going. Takahashi gonna make that gravy train keep going, okay? The numbers get bigger and bigger every time. Xenoblade 3 is a fantastic game. Some aspects I don't like about it, like I think story is a little bit lacking, especially compared to 2. 2 had like the best story, but even with the DLC, like the DLC included also has like the most godlike story, but Xenoblade is at the biggest point it's ever been, and all I can say is someone who's been there since the beginning, I'm really fucking happy about it. I just wish people would be a little bit less cringe when they criticize the games or when they make like lame memes. But other than that, I'm happy Xenoblade is in a better place than it was 10 years ago, and that Xenoblade can now potentially be seen as a pillar for Nintendo's like big franchises, because Nintendo's big pillars right now are Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, and Fire Emblem, and obviously Pokemon, but Pokemon is kind of separate. Yeah, so Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Splatoon, and Fire Emblem. Hopefully Xenoblade also counts as one of those big pillars, because I don't see Nintendo making too many other of their main franchises, or first party or second party, regardless. Like Pikmin 4 just got announced. Pikmin 4 was announced during the Wii U. It fucking exists now. Like, what the hell? Anyway, like, maybe Pikmin will become the big pillar next time. Maybe like Pikmin 4 sells 1 million copies. And Miyamoto's like, damn, I didn't realize you guys like Pikmin. But yeah, Xenoblade's in its golden years. I'm happy. Fan art, amazing parodies and memes. I can just go to my Twitter and see Xenoblade stuff like all the time, and it means a lot to me to see my favorite franchise grow so much in only 10 years. Like, that's a series I've been there from the beginning, since it first dropped in Japan, and I kept a close eye on it until it reached the United States. But that's all I could wish for. All I could wish for is for Xenoblade to keep prospering and being amazing and helping new people get into it. And thank you, Tetsuya Takahashi, for making the Xenoblade series. My favorite RPG series ever, and my favorite game ever. So, keep it up. Thanks, Takahashi. You better include Rex and Shulk in the DLC for the challenge battles, because you did that last time. Shulk was able to meet Rex, so Rex and Noah and Shulk all gotta hang out, okay? I accept no exceptions. They gotta be like Fiora and Shulk, Rex with Pyra or Mythra, and then Noah and Mio, they all hang out. They're all friends, okay? That's it, bye.